is Thursday. Let's take a deep breath together in through our nose, filling up our belly. Out through our mouth. Again. So, for those of you that have been following along, you know that I've been using these tarot cards as the intention for the flow that we share in the morning, and I share it with Ellery, and then she does a similar intention at night. Now, I was someone who was very skeptical and scared of tarot cards in general because I had no idea really what that meant, and from a young age I've been told that that is terrible. But it's not, and I specifically have used it, and it has connected me more to God. And this deck is the Light Seers Tarot, and this really resonates with me. So there are different types of tarots. The Light Seers Tarot is, I think, it's still the 78 cards, but it's more of a purpose-filled tarot versus, not that others are like fortune, but these messages resonate a lot more with me. So that was just a little tidbit. Usually I pull the card before, but it's that kind of morning, so I'm going to do it now for our intention. So, if you want to bring your hands together, this is how I pull cards. I set an intention, so, dear God, I ask that the card that I pull today is what the viewers and what I need to hear. A message that we need to hear, that we can live throughout our day. Woo! Well, that's a beautiful card. The Queen of Cups. A magical, beautiful card. So, the Queen of Cups, what does that tell us? Well, I'm still learning, and so for me, I like to get out my handy dandy little guidebook. I flip to the Cups, which is a minor arcana, and to the Queen. My intuitive heart openly expresses deep love. Extremely intuitive, highly attuned emotional intelligence, love and compassion, sensitivity, strength, empathy, leading with your heart. I love this card, and I think that it reminds us our emotions are not a liability. They are actually something we can use that make us who we are, right? Like, she asks you how well your emotions have been serving you lately, and reminds you that you have the ability to connect on a much deeper level. Oh, that's beautiful. So our emotions are not a liability, but we can use our emotions to be like, hey, am I surface leveling these things? Like, am I angry right now about stuff that doesn't matter? Do I need to dive deeper? Feel and accept your emotional intuition. Listen closely as a way to understand what is truly going on and ensure that other people feel heard when you communicate with them. That's something I am working on, being present. When you're talking to others, are you present? When you ask someone, how are you ready to hear their response? Or are you hoping that they're saying, I'm good? And so then you can just move on. Well, I'm totally someone who in the past has done that, just been like, oh, how are you? But secretly hoped that they're like, good. And I'm like, good, okay, bye. You know? So no, you can always say things like, it's nice to see you. And then that's not asking them a question that may be a little more in depth than what you're prepared to handle if you don't have the time to do that, you know? Devote time. Okay, I love this part. It takes both sun and shadow to make the ocean floor sparkle. You are out of touch with if you are out of touch with your emotions, you may be, or you are suppressing your feelings while refusing to see the obvious. So just remember, you can vulnerably share your own tender heart and know that it's not a liability. Our emotions are not a liability. Come forward. Come back. I feel like I have a cape. I want you to think of an affirmation, an I am statement. One of my favorite ones that I repeat, and I've repeated for months. It's always a good rule of thumb for me to repeat the affirmation until I actually believe it, and then some. I am grounded. I am grounded. I am grounded in my relationships. I am grounded in my faith. I am grounded in who I am. And just because my current situation makes me feel uprooted, I acknowledge that I'm where I'm at today and I've manifested that for myself. And I was in a place, and you saw some of it in the past videos, where I was very unhappy. And this is no blame towards anyone. This is a total internal reality. But remembering, and I've said this before and I will say it again, I am not a victim to my life. No matter what is going on, and I acknowledge that there are people who have lives that have had endured much, much more pain than I have. So this is very, not easy, but easier for me to say. But I feel like I need to just tell you, you are not a victim to your life. Inhale. I am not a victim to my life. Repeat it. I am not a victim to my life. I am grounded. I am connected. I am me. Take this energy with you today. The Queen of Cups. One of the most intuitive cards in the entire tarot deck. Take this energy with you today and remember, you can lead with your tender heart. We have been being guided by male leadership for a long time. My lifetime, lifetimes in the past, right? And we acknowledge that it takes two. It takes the feminine and male leadership, intellectual and intuition, right, for a world to go round. But we also need to acknowledge that we haven't allowed the intuitional feminine energy to come into the world and lead. I believe that that is what we are being called to do, and I believe that is what you are being called to do. Even if you're a male, tune in, right? This isn't just necessarily like females lead this way, males lead this way. It's a mix of both, and you can lead with intellect and intuition. And if you're not being accepted for that, it's time for you to move on. Your emotions are not a liability. You can lead with your tender heart and change the world around you, which inevitably starts to see your light into the darkness. Have a beautiful Thursday. A tidbit, we will be switching it up. So next week, since we're doing these alone, it just takes a lot of energy, right? And we will be doing morning flows on Monday and Wednesday, and night flows on Tuesday and Thursday. So that way you have flows Monday through Thursday, but then we can dive in. Monday, Tuesday will be one pull, one intention type dealio. Wednesday, Thursday will be another, and then on the weekends we have your free class for you. So we'll see you tonight.